Alright, so writing equations in slope-intercept form and standard form. Write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form, given a graph. Who can remind me, what is slope-intercept form? What is the equation for slope-intercept form? Very good. So I got y equals mx plus b. What pieces of information am I plugging in for in y equals mx plus b?
The slope and the y-intercept.
Good. The slope and the y-intercept. So my slope of m and my y-intercept. Can I find m? Can I find m? Can I find b? Comes my questions. How do I find m from a graph? I need to find the slope of the two coordinates. Okay, I could use your slope formula, but from the graph, is there an easier way to find slope? Very good. I'm looking for the rise over run. So here's a coordinate. Here's a coordinate. How do I get from one coordinate to the other coordinate? So again, I'm going to use my rise over run. So here, I notice that I need to rise how many units? How many units am I rising? Okay, so I'm rising 4 units. How many units am I running to get to the next coordinate? Rise 4, run 5. Very good. So my slope here would then be what? Rise 4, run 5. My slope would be 4 over 5. Excellent. And my y-intercept, what would my y-intercept be? What would my y-intercept be? Remember, your y-intercept is on the y-axis. What would be the y-intercept? 2 would be my y-intercept. Very good. Alright, so now I can just plug in. So I got y equals, again I'm plugging in for my m, plugging in for my b. So 4/5 x plus 2. Now this is in slope-intercept form. If I want to put this into standard form, okay? There's a couple of different ways to do it. Does anybody remember what the general equation was? What's the equation? Very good. ax plus by equals c. Okay? And the conditions are that a and b cannot be fractions, or c cannot be fractions, and a has to be a positive number. So a, b, and c cannot be fractions, and a has to be positive. So I have y equals 4/5 x plus 2. Do I have any fractions? I have a fraction. Okay, so my 4/5 is a fraction. So I want to get rid of the 5 in the denominator. Okay, how do I get rid of my 5 in the denominator?
Multiply it by 5 over 1.
Yeah, excellent. Multiply everything by 5. So, and then distribute. 5 times y, 5y equals 5 times 4/5. So this is like saying 5 over 1 times 4 over 5. My 5 simplify, and I'm left with just what? I'm left with 4, or 4x, plus, and then 5 times 2, and I get 10. So I got 5y equals 4x plus 10. Are my x's and y's on the same side? No. I need to get my x on the other side. So how do I get 4x? How do I get positive 4x to the other side of the equation? How do I get this positive 4x to the other side of the equation? Very good. Subtract 4x from both sides, minus 4x. And this leaves me with negative 4x plus or minus 5y. Which one? Plus 5y. Very good. Equals 10. Am I in standard form? Okay, what's wrong with this one?
Negative 4x is negative.
Okay, you don't want your leading coefficient. You don't want your a to be negative. So how do I get rid of the negative? How do I get rid of this negative? Very good. Multiply everything by -1. So all what really happens is that the signs change for each number. So -1 times -4 becomes positive 4x. -1 times positive 5y minus 5y. And then -1 times positive 10, -10. So that's writing the equation in slope-intercept form from a graph, and then transferring it into standard form. Let's try another one. Write an equation of a line passing through the point 3, 5 with a slope of 4/3. Again, I want to start in slope-intercept form and then transfer into standard form. So what is my slope-intercept form again? Y equals mx plus b. Do I know my m? Do I have an m? Yes, very good, 4/3. Is this point 3/5 a y-intercept? Why or why not? Is 3/5 a y-intercept? You say no, why? Very good. In order for it to be a y-intercept, this x-coordinate has to be a 0. Alright, so I do not have a y-intercept in this case. So I need to solve for b. Alright, there's two ways to solve for b. One, we could just plug in for m, x, and y. So we could plug in for m, x, and y and solve for b, or we could use the point slope. Okay, let's do a little bit. Let's do both. Okay, so our first step, we could plug in for, take this coordinate and plug in. So I'm going to plug in 5 for y. So I got 5 equals. I'm going to plug in 4/3 for my m. I'm going to plug in 3 for my x plus b. Simplify. 5 equals, what is 4/3 times 3? 4 plus b. And how do I solve for b? What's my last step? Last step to solve for b. Subtract 4 from both sides. Very good. Subtract 4 from both sides. And I get b equals 5 minus 4, 1. Once I have that, now I have my m. Now I have my b. And let's plug in y equals 4/3 x plus 1. Let's keep going with this one. How do I get this into standard form? What should I do first?
Multiply by 3.
Very good. Let's clear my fraction. I'm going to multiply everything by 3. 3 times y, 3y equals 3 times 4/3. So again, this is like 3 over 1 times 4 over 3. My 3 simplify, leaving me with just 4, or 4x, plus, and 3 times 1, plus 3. Almost there. Next step. Are my x's and y's on the same side? No? What do I do? Subtract 4x from both sides. And I have negative 4x plus 3y equals 3. One more step. Multiply everything by negative 1. Excellent. And then this will give me, again, all it does is just change the signs of each number inside. So positive 4x minus 3y equals negative 3. And just to go over one more time, doing the same procedure, except rather than going and plugging in for y, x, and b, and solving for b, we're going to use the point slope formula. What is the point slope formula? Anybody recall? Y minus y1 equals? Very good. So y minus y sub 1 equals m times the quantity, x minus x sub 1. Very good. All right, and in this case, my points here are 3, 5. Or my 3 is my x1, my 5 is my y1. And my m is my slope as always. So then this, so I'm just going to plug in. So y minus y1, which is 5, equals 4/3 times x minus x1, which is 3. So that's the first thing I did, was just plug in. Distribute the 4/3. So I have y minus 5 equals 4/3 times x, and then 4/3 times negative 3 just becomes minus 4. One more step. Very good. Add 5 to both sides. And I have y equals 4/3 x plus 1. And again, this will bring me right into slope-intercept form. And then once I'm into slope-intercept form, I can follow the same procedures to get into standard form.